Okay, thank you. So, I just want to know that how is the situation under COVID-19 in New Zealand?
So right now, so we had 2 lockdowns before. So once in March, and it was about 2 months, and then we stopped, and the whole country was in level 1, which is the minimum restriction.
Oh, really?
And then about it must be a month ago. Only Auckland went back into level 3 because there were cases just in Auckland. But now everything looks like it's okay. But yesterday or this week on the Sunday, they had another community case. But everything is still under control at the moment. So hopefully we don't have to go into lockdown again.
Okay, sorry for interrupting you, but Vice Principal want to say hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
My name is Fumiko Sukawa. I'm the Vice Principal. I'm glad to see you. Let's have a fun conversation between students.
Yes, thank you.
So really, so we really appreciate your kindness. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So sounds like that New Zealand is more successful than Japan in terms of dealing with the COVID-19. So
I think it's easier for New Zealand because we are quite far away from everyone. As long as they put control over the border, it is easier for New Zealand to control it. Whereas in Japan, a lot of people come in and out because you're right in the middle, so it's harder for Japan to control it.
Yeah. But I'm really happy to hear that that COVID-19 is under control. Okay. So time difference is 4 hours day, 4 hours. So I misunderstanding. So but next we can make it. So so we want to use a smartphone to interact with the student. I'm speaking of the 13th. Speaking of the Microsoft Teams. So will your student use a smartphone as well?
Yeah, so most of my students will have a phone, and also in New Zealand at the school, they are actually required to bring their own laptop to school as well. Most of my students have their own laptop and they have a phone as well. So it doesn't matter which one they use, they're quite comfortable using either the phone or the laptop.
So we try to use smartphone as a communication device with you. I just wondering that if we use the Microsoft Teams, so could both students share their pictures or movies, like for example Zoom, the host can share the like this. So but you cannot control it yet. So how about the micro?
So it's the same for Microsoft Teams as well, but because if we are using Teams, then our students become the host, so they have control over the sharing. So if you want to use Zoom, we are totally happy with that as well. So you can do the same thing as well. I will give you their email address, and your student can send them the invite, like what you did with me, and they just need to click onto their email, and hopefully they will be able to use the Zoom on their phone or use their computer.
Oh yeah, so just I'm very happy if my students could use a smartphone because they have a lot of pictures of their families and pictures of Japan, so and they can let your students show them. So that would be the kind of booster to communicate both of the students. So.
Yeah, so that's totally fine. So I can give you the email address and your students can send them the invite. The only problem I have is with the Zoom call, does all your students have an account? Because if they don't, it's only half an hour that they can talk.
Oh, yeah. So they have the email address, so but they are not good at the Microsoft Teams. But on the 30th, I mean, it will be safer. Your student will send the invitation to our students. So even though we cannot share the pictures, so that it's not a problem. I wish I could, but still, I think your student is, get used to using it. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think the first time we can trial using Zoom and see how it goes. I think the only problem is it might cut and stop after 30 minutes because that's the trial. So if you don't pay for Zoom, you only get half an hour. But even if that happens, if the link expires after half an hour, your student can send them another link if they want to talk more after half an hour.
Oh yeah. So maybe between you and me, so like use the Zoom or use Microsoft, just keep on touching. Then if the time is over, then we can communicate, then tell them what to do. So that would be safer because I'm kind of wondering that my students are not good at using some of them cannot use the smartphone properly, maybe. So
have they tried using Zoom before?
They tried with Zoom, but I'm not familiar with Microsoft Teams, but the other teachers very familiar with it. So we will have a go on Friday, but so I hope we can make it. Just practicing to be invited. So yeah.
So okay, so on Thursday, so on Thursday we need to look at the videos, right?
Oh yeah. I by Zoom, so we will watch the videos, and I wanna.
So yeah, so how does that work? Do you already have groups of students divided?
Yeah.
Or okay.
So just sharing the like this, then watching the movies, then I will make the students in front of the computer. They are the maker of the video. Then after watching video, they could have the conversation practice about it, like 2 or 3 minutes, or then. So I hope the communication will kept going. So I'm thinking about that. How does it sound?
Yeah. So how long is the video?
Like mostly 1 or 2 minutes long. So
okay.
Longest is like 3 or 4 minutes. So.
So your students will be speaking English to our kids?
Yeah, but they can speak English a little, but they are kind of shy, and they have the mental barriers of speaking them. So, and it would be the good for them to speak Japanese first, then they make it, you know, relax. So I give them this conversation paper. This is a Japanese yay. So maybe starting with this, they will be relieved speaking. Then we can use these papers as an icebreaker if you want. So do you know who?
On my screen, I can see the Google. I can't see your.
Really? Sorry. How can I share the?そう、終了。画面を共有。Yeah, this one. Sorry, this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is a really easy conversation practices. Then they can, it will be the good start if they can use it. But if you prefer, the English first, that would be okay.
So, I think as long as I can get my students to practice, because it is the same for them as well. They are very shy, especially the year 11 ones. So the year 11 students have not really spoken to Japanese before. So they will be very shy. But my year 12 and 13 will be okay. But if you can send me this conversation practice, this document, I will, because this is things that they should be able to say is quite easy. And so we can start it off. I think your student will feel more comfortable if we just do asking these kind of questions. And I just need to let my students know that we will begin with just talking these, just asking these questions. So hopefully they will be more prepared. Yeah,
sounds good. So I'm really like the idea of language exchange, so then if they can speak to us Japanese, then maybe we can speak back to them in English. So that would be wonderful. And, as an introduction practice, that would be work, and they can get used to, know each other. Then, hopefully, next day that they can talk like a friend or buddies. So that's what we aim at.
So at this moment, are you looking at doing the exchange on both Thursday and Friday, or just on Thursday?
Both would be good. As the starter, Thursday we show you the videos and self-introduction practices, English and Japanese. Then they get used to it. So then if we can arrange as a group, so they can sit. I'm in the body, like you make seven groups of group A. So we made the 7 groups, so they can sit in front of the computer. Then they can show their faces, and they can finish their self-introductions. Then they can get used to, they can know each other. So next day they will become buddies on micro teams. Then that will be work, and that will be wonderful, I think. What do you think about it?
Yeah, so I'm happy with the arrangement for this week. Just looking at time, will your students still be okay with the time that we have agreed on Thursday and Friday?
Yeah. So the calculation is I misunderstood 1 hour. So we have to think about that. For example, speaking
So
of
Thursday. Yeah, so Thursday, my students, I will see them at 11:40.
11:40
until until 1:10. 10 minutes past 1.
Okay, so the 11:55 means 4 hours back, like minus 4 hours would be the our date. So that is the 7:55. So we start our homeroom meeting at 8. No, sorry. They finish their homeroom 8:50. So 8:50 they can come back. So 8:50 means like in New Zealand time. So
12:50.
Yeah. Still
Okay.
So I have to think about that. So maybe so I will talk to the principal. Then we can arrange the time. If they skip their they could have the official absence in the homeroom. So we could start earlier. So yeah. But
you can confirm the time with me later on, but as long as it is within the 90-minute lesson, I think I sent you the email before with the class time that I actually see them on Thursday and Friday. So so as long as it is within those time, then we'll be okay. So just let me know and confirm that, so I know if we start earlier or later, then I can prepare my students for it.
Oh, thank you. So like I wish I could start it like 12:25 or so. That 20 maybe if it's late, like we can start it 12:40. No, 12:40. So like so sorry, I need the time to think about it. So
that's okay. There's no rush. We still have a week to confirm. So that's okay.
Thank you. So when did the summertime start?
We started, I can't even remember. I think about 3 weeks ago.
I thought it was finished. So
I think New Zealand is still one of the very few countries who still have some summer and winter time, but not a lot of countries still do this.
Yeah, it's environment eco-friendly. So yes, that's really good. Okay, so so I want to tell you that we put importance on not only a language exchange but also cultural exchange. So the first day it will be for the cultural exchange, and the second day will be the day for the language exchange. So I hope it will work.
So I think what I'll do is I will prepare my students to have something like what you're showing me, the conversation practice. So they can ask your students a little bit more questions, like just 好きなスポーツは何ですか? Like just questions that maybe they can answer. And so that hopefully my students can also record it and they can use it as part of their speaking as well, if they can have an interaction.
Yes, thank you. So I will send this paper to you. So
and yeah, once I've done it, I'll also give you a copy of what I do with my students. So then your students can see what are some of the questions that my kids have prepared to ask them. So they can be more prepared rather than, on the spot and don't know what to answer.
Yeah. We can, I can give them to the student. Like, yeah, that would be wonderful. And so I can show you, I think I can show you the movie they make. Like, you can imagine what kind of the movie it is. So let me, just a wait a moment, please.
Yeah,
so
that's okay.
I can show the some videos. So.
This is sushi. これはお寿司です。Sushi is
Okay, so